Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. A little late, but I'm here. We're going to be a little low key this morning. I want to start with one thing that might be important to you. I heard from a Nate Wheeler yesterday or last night, who is North Shore's son. And Nate has put together a GoFundMe account to close out North Shore's affairs. I mean, if y'all remember, he died Christmas Eve. They're trying to raise some money to pay off Sean's final bills, clean out his apartment, rental vehicles, and things like that to move stuff, do whatever, just get his final affairs put away. They've got a GoFundMe going, so I'm going to put the link below if anybody cares to donate to help Nate finish up everything for Sean. So, uh, just a public service announcement there for you guys. So, all right, here we are. It's the third week of February, and most of us are very anxious for winter to be over, though it hasn't been a bad winter for most. I mean, we had that cold spell around Christmas, but Mother Nature's not done with us yet. If you have not paid attention to the weather, if you live anywhere in the northern quarter of the country, you're going to get one more good wallop here in the next couple of days. Their winter storm Olive is trekking through the Rockies, heading up to the northern plains, and about to wallop everybody else. So you've got already blizzard warnings in North and South Dakota and Minnesota. Not that that's a big surprise that you get winter weather up there. But this is going to continue tracking through Wisconsin, Chicago, all of Michigan, like the Cleveland area, most of Pennsylvania, and then everywhere, New York, Massachusetts, northward. You guys are going to get dumped on with snow, ice storms, and heavy winds. So, my question is, have you done any of the preparations for I don't want to say spring storm, but a late winter storm like this? Because you get these very, very heavy winds. Have you cleaned up any of the trees that might fall in your house, fall in your car, whatever it is? Have you gone out and cleaned up any of the stuff in the yard that could be flying projectiles that could get thrown through a window or something? It sometimes the littlest things you do can be very important preps. Have you got what you need in case the power goes out, in case the water goes out? I'm hoping most of you do, but there's a lot of people that are new to prepping, new to the channel, whatever it would be. And one of the things that we always want to make sure is that people are forewarned. I mean, prepping is having everything taken care of before the event. Okay, preparing for something. Well, you have an event coming. The rest of us need to take heed as to what's going on too, because sorry. The rest of us need to take heed too, because with this storm, this is going to further affect things that could be available to us. Traffic, airlines, flying anywhere lately. If you got a connecting flight in Chicago or a connecting flight in Minneapolis, that's what United and Delta hubs, okay, you might have an issue. All the time we talk about the major SHTF situations, World War III, EMP, no food, whatever it is. The minor ones are the ones that are more likely that you're going to experience multiple times. Now, I don't have to tell anybody up north about weather. Gee, you know what? I live up north. It snows here. But a lot of times we don't take into account how something going on somewhere else can affect us where we are. I mean, you guys are talking about blizzards in Minnesota, Wisconsin, whatever it would be. I'm supposed to be 79 degrees tomorrow. Okay. If I don't turn on the news or I don't look at the weather or something, hey, you know what? Spring's here. It's beautiful. I mean, I kid you not. My tulips are coming up. My daffodils are coming up. My trees are starting to bud. You think spring's here, which scares the living piss out of me because just like last year, we had a hard freeze and I didn't get any fruit off of any of my fruit trees because it killed all the flowers. What happens if the same thing happens up north? Oh, I don't know. Anybody want to guess where a lot of apples are grown? Oh, that would be Michigan, you know. Let's talk about anything else. Cattle, okay. You know, we already have a cattle shortage, if you will. You know, dairy out of Wisconsin, could that be affected? Sure. Grain out of the Dakotas, could that winter wheat, could that be affected? Sure. Okay. How much snow do they get? Does this cause any flooding? Oh, gee, that's what we need. More water going into the rivers, which just seem to have a little bit of problem out in this area right now. So now if you get flooding, you know, and you've got chemically infested rivers, gee, you know what? I live there and all of a sudden water flowed into my basement. Oh, crap. Now what do you have? Now you have a chemical stew in your house. Good luck. Okay. It's little things like this sometimes that you got to think a little bit further ahead of how it's going to be. Sit back, take 10 minutes this morning while you're drinking your coffee and go, okay, with all of this going on north of me, what could affect me? And how am I prepared for it? Maybe nothing happens. I mean, again, we go back to the mantra. If you're prepped for everything and nothing ever happens, what are you out? You are out nothing, but you got peace of mind, right? You know, let's say, for example, you live in Indiana or northern Kentucky, you know, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, right along the Ohio River. Do you have sandbags? It's not supposed to snow there. It's not, I mean, we're supposed to get a little bit of rain later, you know, starting tomorrow for a few days, but do you have sandbags? Just in case, you know, just a thought. Do you have some sort of pump if you have a basement? Just in case. I'm not talking about your sump pump. You've got a sump pump. What if the power goes out? Your sump pump doesn't work, okay? Do you have some sort of backup power to get the sump pump working? Or do you have something to pump the basement out if all of a sudden you go down there with water? I lived in Fort Wayne. Y'all know that. And I remember walking down in my basement one day that I had recently finished. I mean, 6 years of working on that thing. And I had finished the basement, carpeted and everything like that. It was maybe about a year after I finished it. And I went down in the basement one day and there were 2 inches of water in the ground. Carpet's ruined, drywall had to be pulled, yada, 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 yada. Okay. Yeah. This was springtime and it had rained. That was it. Okay. You know, sometimes things happen. Just pay attention to some of the littler things. I know we all get caught up in the big stuff, but the little stuff is what is going to be the more likely event that you're going to wind up using your preps for. Just a little reminder this morning, and nothing that is, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. We'll see you later. Pinball out.